Hello. When last we met, our overconfidence drove us into a precarious predicament. We thought we could casually drive ourselves through the center of the horde and come out without any issues. Our vehicle stands here now on 3 tires, but just barely. Before we get too far though, let's rewind the clocks a bit and take a look at how we managed to get back home alive and unscathed. Quick thinking pulled us out of the clutches of the mob. Followed by a swift U-turn, we managed to squeeze our way out of their range. We blow our tire on some corpses on the way home, but at least it didn't happen just a little bit sooner. The rest of the ride is much less eventful, but at a slower pace. When we return to our shaken hero in the present day, we find him enjoying his floating garden sanctuary. The strawberry bushes that run along the garden path were finally ready and bearing seeds. The beautiful and delicious red berries would serve us wonderfully over the coming reclusive days. We also leveled up our farming skill. Glorious. Hello. After a comment request from a previous video, I increased the resolution of the recording and the resolution of the game, in hopes to give out a higher resolution product. Hopefully, going forward, things will be a little bit better on that front. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps a lot with pushing my channel out to more people. Thanks for watching. During a stormy day at home, we decided to extend the farm more. Our gluttonous side poured through as we dug these furrows, thinking about all the varieties of food we'd be able to grow and eat going forward. When winter comes, having a larger farm harvest going into the colder seasons will really pay off, as easier food supplies get cut off. To be honest, we were scared. We were locking ourselves away at home, contemplating all of the ways we could move forward. We can get bigger, stronger, smarter, and faster, sure. But ultimately, we needed a better way to eliminate the mutations. We needed guns that packed more power than the handguns we possessed. Otherwise, we'd never make any progress with escaping this hell-forsaken landscape we were locked into. Hell, even if we escaped, where would we go? While our reclusive days continued, we decided to scrap the survivor van for knowledge. As we ripped her apart down to her frame, we increased our mechanics to level 2. We'll follow this up by reading the next tier of mechanics book. Who doesn't love pancakes? With fresh strawberries, peaches, maple syrup, and a sprinkle of cocoa powder for breakfast. We would enjoy these beautiful carb-packed snacks over the next few days or so, fueling our never-ending fitness drive. In Project Zomboid, making pancakes with toppings is a seriously tedious task. The food is great, but it's so many clicks. We AFK sprint in place for hours on end, testing the viability of sprint training inside. It was the ultimate waste of time, as we end up only gaining like 200 or 300 experience throughout the time, which can be gained much faster when time warp sprinting outdoors. The AI conflicts from the mods make for some interesting zombie behavior. Whether that's a good or a bad thing is still yet to be decided. On one of our rest days, we waste some time by turning the power on. In the 2 months we've been surviving out here, it'll be the first time we've heard the voice of others. We'll turn on the television and watch a couple of old VHS tapes that we found lying around. It almost calms our restless hearts. After the 2 videos, the sound of the generator started to bug us, so we shut down the power again to resume our peace and quiet. Beautiful. We lay in bed peacefully listening to the rain tink atop the rooftop of our tower sanctuary. It was now almost the end of July, and we were still being completely contained to the center quiet zone. Something had to change. We wash ourselves of the despair that's lingered over us since our overconfidence threw us into the center of a vile horde. It was time to enact a plan to make use of the resources we had available to us, to better our situation and further our cause. The sun shone bright over the old homestead. We gained a nice boon since getting better at farming. We could check on our crops from a distance, without even leaving the safety of our balcony. We knew exactly how our crops were growing and what they needed to survive, water-wise. Our plan was simple. We scoured our memory of the surrounding neighborhoods and found that the most likely place to find guns, within a reasonable distance, would be an old pawn shop southeast of the Central Park. Only problem was getting there. We needed to make our way to a central small urban four-way, and then head down the old cul-de-sac until we can peel off into the pawn shop's parking lot. On paper, this was a simple enough plan. After clearing out a spot to fight from, we decided it's time to level our aiming. We were going to get to this pawn shop no matter what, even if it took all of our stocked up pistol ammo. Thankfully, their bad daytime senses meant we wouldn't be drawing hordes from neighboring neighborhoods. run out of 9mm bullets and decide to call it for the day. We had a foothold in our plan mostly secured, and now it's time to rejuvenate and re-gear ourselves. We grab our Colt 21, which uses 45 ACP, which we happen to have over 8 boxes of ammo for, and extra magazines. We'll attach the red DOS sight and weapon light to make it a bit more tactical. A new day beckoned us. We woke up promptly at 6:30 a.m., invigorated and inspired. We donned a perfectly conditioned leather jacket for armor from the hordes, with Lucille and Tempest at our side. We were 100% ready to accomplish this delve into the unknown. On our way back, we decided that Gnome David needed a friend. We juke the first swing. Juke this. On our journey into the unknown, we find a roaming pair of ex-police officers, still wielding their peacemaker tools. We humbly suggest they acquiesce to our request to hand over those beautiful 12-gauge shotguns, for the purpose of safe disposal, of course. We've arrived a little past lunchtime. The pawn shop was right there in front of us, standing tall alone in its place. But first, we'd need to secure the area before we could enjoy our rewards. Above the chaos, nested into the attic of the pawn shop, a small alcove of peace. We find a stash of canned foods hidden away, so we help ourselves to a late lunch, early dinner, before finishing what we came here to do. Inside the pawn shop was no guns, but what it lacked in guns it made up for in ammo and other niceties. Entire shelves lined to the brim with boxes of ammo, and we took every single one of them. We'd found shotguns earlier, so the 12-gauge ammo was generously welcomed. We could also possibly break down the bullets and craft some of our own, assuming we knew the recipe already. With a successful loot mission completed, we packed up the car and sped home victorious. Ammo, armor, clothing, weapons, and more. The pawn shop and the path to it were very generous in the provided supplies. It felt good to be successful. The rewards were tremendous. The dopamine coursed through our overworked bodies. And to top it off, we found a new trendy bag that could fit more of our supplies easier. There is so much open to us now, but that would have to wait until next time. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button. A like, favorite, or share is also greatly appreciated. If you have a suggestion for a future challenge, please let me know about it down below or by joining the Discord. Thanks and have a wonderful one.